Hey Scrappy friends, it's Audrey. Thanks for stopping by to watch my video today. I have a page I'm going to do with the November 2020 Hip Kit Club kit, and I absolutely love this kit so much. I love the colors and all the embellishments because I just love scrapping fall. So I'm going to make an attempt here to use a lot of the pattern paper in this kit because I just, again, love the patterns and colors here. Just such a unique color combo, I think. But just really screams fall. So I'm just going to take a whole bunch of strips of these patterns that I really love that coordinate very nicely, and I'm going to lay them out on my background paper. And again, I'm just going to try to focus on the pattern paper. I'm not going to do a ton of mixed media here because I really want the patterns and colors to stand out. So and notice I kind of balance my patterns with like a really busy pattern, which is like the floral print, and then I have kind of like a tone on tone, the orange, and then kind of like a medium pattern and color, which is the gingham there. And then I decided to go ahead and use my remnant strip from the paper I had torn and put the kind of plaid on the top. So, you know, a little bit, because these patterns are all so busy and different, you really only need a little bit of them. And then I'm going to go through and use some of my washi tape as well to kind of highlight some of the colors and patterns. So I put a solid kind of washi tape, well, more solid color, up with the busy print, solid like dark color washi with the plaid, and then a floral washi underneath the yellow gingham. So I decided to do a little bit of mixed media underneath the strips, and I just want a little bit to peek out from my photos. And I'm going to go with the navy because I wanted a little bit of a darker background, and that one pattern paper strip is navy. So I'm going to use that, and I'm using two shimmers. I think I'm using, I'm not sure if they are both, if they're inklings or coloring, or creamies, I can't remember. But one is Boogie Board Blue, and the other one I think is Lapis Dance. So very pretty blue shades here. And I'm just going to kind of push those around with a little bit of water on my page and do some splatters. And I'm just going to use those two colors. And then I'm going to go over and do some gold splatters. And this is, what gold is this? It is Good as Gold. That's what it is. I couldn't remember. And then I'm just going to do a few little highlights of this wisteria, which is has a little tiny bit of a shimmer to it. It is a purple, but I was kind of trying to pick up on some of the pinkish purple coral color in the pattern paper. And I'll just do a few splatters there. And notice I left a spot where my strips are going to be. I didn't need to paint that because I knew my strips were going to kind of cover up that area. And I love the way that these dried. I just love the little pockets of dark color that you get when the color collects in a certain area. So that looked really, really pretty. So I love those watercolors. So when I do my mixed media and if the page starts to warp, I just take some painter's tape and I put it behind the corners of my layout and I tape it down. And that helps it stay flat. And then I actually leave it there. I might leave it there overnight, and I think it helps flatten it out a little bit. And then once you put it in an album, it gets flat anyway, so it's totally fine if it warps. So I had arranged everything on one piece of white cardstock, and I did my painting on a second piece of white cardstock, so I'm just going to transfer everything over to the page that I did the painting on. And I was just experimenting with my remnant strips here to see if I wanted to change the patterns, but I'm going to stick with that plaid. So I love the way that mixed media frames my photo, which I also put in a frame. That's a chipboard frame that comes in the kit. And I'm pretty sure most of these papers are from Simple Stories collection. I think most of this kit from Hip Kit Club was Simple Stories and a little bit of the Jen Hadfield recent collection as well. So you can see I kind of like lift up all my strips together and throw some glue underneath and like push it back down, and that way they can all stay exactly where I had them. And I'll glue this over my photo. I had thought about, and then I'll put some craft foam behind that, I had thought about cutting out the little section that said Cozy Days on the frame there and trying to pop it off the page a little bit to give it some dimension, but I think that was going to be too much work. So I'm just going to add a few more flowers and other things to give this corner a little bit of dimension. So I popped up a foam flower from the top there. And then I love the idea of the cozy days together title. So this is my kids with their cousins, some of their cousins, who they don't get to see very often, maybe once a year. And this was Thanksgiving last year, and it was just so cute. They just had a moment. I just looked over and they were all cuddled up, snuggling on top of each other, watching a show on a computer, and it was just really adorable. And I don't even think they realized how close they were to each other and how on top they were. You know, sometimes they're like, kids are like, get off me, I don't want to be near you, but they were just all snuggly and adorable. They were really into their show. Okay, so I am going through and I'm adding some stickers. This sticker book is so awesome. I just love the little different shapes, and there's leaves and there's little flowers, and of course I wanted to kind of give it a little bit of a fall theme, so I'm putting some leaves on there. And I use those kind of peachy pink big flowers because they are the same ones in the pattern paper strip that I have underneath the photo, so that complements well. There's so much that you could use in this packet. Lots of phrases and good title stickers and then letter stickers and all kinds of icons. So I'm just going to really go through this sticker pack and find some more things to scatter around. I'm making a cluster in the bottom left corner of my photo, as you can see. And then I am making a cluster in the top right on the strip, and then kind of scattering it down in the bottom right, so you kind of have this kind of a visual triangle with big floral elements, and it kind of just makes your eye move across the page. Good. And I added a date sticker behind, and this is kind of the part where you're like, oh my gosh, there's so much to use, but you don't want to overdo it. Like, I could use all of the things. I could really go crazy embellishing with all of the elements in there, but you just gotta kind of keep it simple sometimes. I mean, this isn't simple, but you don't want to go too crazy. I'm going to use some of those sticky, I guess they're not brads, but I don't know what you call them. They're not brads anymore. I don't know if any companies actually make real brads anymore with the prongs in the back. They're all stickers now. But I used 3 of these. One on the top right, one on the frame, and then I'll use another one eventually for the center of a flower. And then sometimes I just step back, or I'll take a picture of my layout and I'll see like if there's any empty space or a space where I feel like there should be something. And so I went back and machine stitched over my strips, and I used a combination of zigzag stitching and some straight line stitching, and I made sure I zigzag stitched where you would see it. And also, I don't know if you can tell, but I added a tiny bit more blue ink in the top right corner of my photo frame, behind my photo frame, just because just the way the ink was laying there, it didn't look complete to me, so I just added a tiny bit more blue behind the corner, and a couple more leaves. Like I said, after I had stepped back and looked at a photo of this, I felt like there was just a few empty spaces, so I filled those up. I'm going to trim off my threads on the edges, and I stuck my photo down already, and now it's just a matter of putting everything down and placing it in the right spot. And some of these bigger elements I ended up gluing down, adding some extra glue, because again, on the gessoed background, they don't often stick very well. And then I'm just going to use a small sticker here for my for my journaling, and that's it. So here are some close-ups of all the mixed media, which I love how those colors came out, and all those little stickers, and the layers of paper. So this was a nice little Thanksgiving memory that I thought I would share with you today for Thanksgiving. And I will have a couple more pages coming up the next couple of days. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Stay scrappy, my friends.